I'm
We're
here.
getting ready.
Okay, you're recording.
Okay, well, I'm happy to be here with all of you this evening, and I think most of you I know. But if not, my name's Cheryl Cortese. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company. And we've just had a wonderful event as we've heard so many stories. And I think what you um, can really identify with and love is that they were heartfelt. It's people's, needs, emotions, the good feeling that comes from seeing other people do well. I think we all enjoy that. I've been with the Juice Plus Company now for 32 and a half years, which is still a big shock to me. And I started in a time of really financial desperation and not, realizing that this could grow into what it became over the years and what it continues to become. But again, like so many, just trying to, have that additional income as a single parent to make ends meet. And so, over this time, we've not only seen people have amazing results, but we have, seen people grow massive businesses that never thought they would even be in business for themselves. And I certainly would be one of those people as well. And so tonight, we wanted to continue on our journey of really looking at what's foundational to building a very strong and powerful business. What are those things that you do consistently over and over to make that happen? I taught kindergarten for many years, and in the kindergarten class, what you try to do is break things down to the lowest denominator so that you can reach that little child in the skills that you want them to build so they graduate to first grade. There was actually, when I was teaching, one of the skills a child needed to have to graduate to first grade was being able to skip. And so if you break skipping down, what it is you hop on one foot, you hop on the other, and then you put that together and you're skipping. So if we look at our business and we want to skip through a little faster, okay, let's break it down to the common denominators of what does it take from a skill set to really have a foundation that you teach over and over. You do it yourself first because you want to be the model. And then you teach other people to do it. You teach them to teach others, to teach others. The duplication process then happens and you have everybody skipping at a really good rate. Okay, so if I look at the skill set itself, it's basically what you heard tonight with stories. Your story, the stories of others, how we tell the story, being able to really help people share that heartfelt things. I listened tonight and, Eileen looking for that plan B, that security, that comes along. That was something that she obviously wants. Really listening for people. And I heard Alex listening for people where, what are the challenges that they have and the dreams that they have? How do you take this and wrap it around it and what you have around it? And it's always with the stories, identifying and stories. I heard Cheryl talk about, what it took to get to both belief and conviction. And we all go through that process of, how do we really reach that point where we believe so strongly that there's not anything that could shake that belief, and our conviction is really strong. And it's usually more and more experiences of hearing the stories, hearing the validation over and over, seeing it and experiencing it, and that strengthens that belief. So stories are vital. They're part of the foundation, and that's a whole training on itself, and that'll actually be next week's training, is story time, telling the story and teaching others to tell the story. And then you think about, how do you approach? How do you share the story? How do you make friends? How do you listen for the challenges or the pain points that people have that they're trying to deal with? And what are their dreams for what they would like in their life? That's what I'm always listening for, so that I can pull a story or share a story, my own or someone else's, so that they begin to get a vision of how it could happen for them. That's a training in itself. Building for events, that's huge because we're all telling the story together. So we validate for one another. And then of course, closing. How do you kind of wrap it up, so that people get the order in, they are on the product and they decide to become a team member maybe, but you're really setting up for the close when you share your story, because you want people identifying with your feelings. And then, of course, the pay plan. If someone's going to go into business with you, how are you going to tell them how they earn money and what's available to them? So that becomes a very important part as well. And we're going to talk about tonight just the basics, the very foundation in the pay plan that are important to really become very knowledgeable about, and to weave those skills in with the pay plan, to utilize it, telling the story, how do you approach and make friends, billing for events, closing, all of that really should be woven into your utilization of the basics in the pay plan and giving people a vision, because we're all really storytellers who create a vision for other people. Your story is really not so much about you as it is about how it's going to lay the foundation or vision for someone else who will follow or who will want to be part of it. So first thing I'm going to do is go to screen share and see if I can manage to bring that to us on screen. And hopefully you see $52 and a tri-pack. And what I want to do is really go through the basic 4 positions and then look at where do people grow up into what we call the comma club. And a comma means there's a comma in your check, at least $1,000, okay? And from there up. And that comma can come after any number, and it can get bigger and bigger and bigger. But we want a foundation of at least 1,000 to 1,500. So that's going to be the foundational goal. And then we're going to use the skills as we continue to learn and repeat those skills to make sure that we can walk people through that pay plan and grow them up through the pay plan. Not only you yourself, but growing others up is what grows you. So putting those 2 things together become very, very powerful. So we're going to talk about reaching the comma club, the $1,000 in consistent, repetitive income without looking at the bonuses. That's going to be the little something extra. I'm just going to try to put all this on the page at one time here so that we can walk through it. So I always, when I'm sharing the pay plan, I'm going to share the tri-pack because that's 85% of our sales. So that gives you a real good picture. Of course, any product that we market, and it is fortunately a very focused product line, it's simple, it's convenient, it's very cost effective for people, and we can certainly bring something that's going to make a huge difference in life, as we hear over and over through the stories. And so the tri-pack is the basis, but of course all the others you're going to be paid on as well. The $52, of course, for $1 a week, you can be in business for yourself. That is the amount of the application. And then using the tri-pack, it's $300 for a 4-month supply, broken down into increments of $75 a month, which covers everything, all costs, all shipping. It's totally inclusive. And so you're going to receive your income return not only on your own order, which would be a sales profit of 10%, and that's $30, but you're now going to start developing team and teaching others to develop team and putting together a business that will become a model for everyone that follows. So when I started, my sponsor, Jeff Roberti, he said, at least in the very beginning, we want to move you through this plan as quickly as possible, because the way you start is the way everyone else is going to start. That for your whole career, they will ask you, how did you start? 32 years later, people say, how did you start, when they start with me? And so it's important to have a good, strong start. When I sit with a new person, and I've worked at making sure that I had new business my entire career, my responsibility to that person is to get a check, a consistent check in their pocket quickly, so that they feel really confident in the return that they're going to have. And so that's what I'm going to say. My job's to get you a check. And if we're going to get you a check, these are the things that need to be done so that we can get you in a good foundation position. So of course, when a person goes on application, they're a partner. They now have that retail sales profit. If they market that tri-pack, they're going to make $30. But the goal, of course, is to grow up in income and grow up in position. So we see Partner Plus, Now you've got a permanent 5% return. And at this point, if the partner markets the tri-pack, which is $300 for 4 months, they're going to have a 5% return. That's another $15. So 30 plus 15, they're going to receive $45. And I'm going to go through this with you so that you at least get the verbiage. You can hear this on recording. It's actually on a recording on the YouTube channel that we use here for this call. But get comfortable with verbiage where you can move through it fairly quickly, but give people that foundation of what's happening in each position so they can get a vision of what they need to do and the return. You don't have to go into detail, but at least the simplicity of it and enough information so that they get a good view. So now, how does a person become a Partner Plus? Well, it's basically $1,000 in orders. This is right at 4 orders of the tri-pack. A little more, it'll be a little more than 1,000 if they're 4. But using that as an example, we're going to say 4. So it should be their own order if they're just starting. Need to have at least 2 of those be customers. They could be in the person's own household. And so that at least their own order and 2 customers in combination to reach $1,000 in production. Now they're going to have that Partner Plus position permanently until they grow up further. The 5% is permanent. The position is permanent. You never fall back. The next position is called a Qualifying Sales Coordinator, and you'll hear it referred to as a QSC. Now the increase in return is 10% on top of the retail sales profit. So here there would be a $60 return to the Qualifying Sales Coordinator who markets that tri-pack, and they reach that position with an accumulation of 4,000 orders, $4,000 worth of orders, and that would be an accumulation of 14 orders. Now, there's 2 things here that you really want to point out. All positions are permanent. You can never fall back. All orders are cumulative. So if 4 orders have already been completed, or any combination of orders, because the orders are not the issue, it's the amount. If $1,000 is already in the bank, so to speak, you just need another 3,000. And the beauty of this is it does not have to be you alone. It really should be you, new team members, customers, their customers. So you want to start putting that team together right away. And this is a real key point, is helping people put their team together right away. You want the balance of all of it going on. You want the team synergy where people do inspire each other, where they lift each other up if they become disappointed, or they're there to cheer each other on when things go well. And both of those things happen, all the time. There'll be times when you think, this is the most wonderful, exciting thing. Everybody's saying yes. And there'll be times when you'll be disappointed, but there's the combination or synergy of team really brings that support that makes this work. So all positions are permanent, all orders are cumulative. This separates us from many companies because many companies you have to requalify every year in all positions, and this can be a real detriment to growing up through the plan. That doesn't happen here. So now we go to the top commission position of sales coordinator. Here you have a 15% return. It's permanent. The sales coordinator, or the SC as you'll hear it referred to so often, now marketing that tri-pack will receive their $30 profit, 15% of the $300, and that comes to $75. So if the sales coordinator markets that product themselves, it's going to be a $75 return. How does a person grow to sales coordinator? They grow to sales coordinator with an accumulation of $12,000 in orders. The tri-pack, as an example, would be exactly 40 orders. Now let's talk about this position for a little while, because for yourself and for those people you're growing up, the goal is to get to that position as quickly as possible. We all do the same thing. From the very beginning of my career, I was working on the skill of telling the story, telling it in a short fashion from the heart, so that you then accumulate interest from people so that they ask more. I'm, listening to the approaches, how people are, listening to others. I'm listening to make sure that I've got some of the verbiage maybe that fits me or that feels good, that I'm, really just basically making friends and building for events and things of this nature. So you're really growing into that position because we all do the same thing. So we might as well be paid at the highest level for our efforts in commissions. So when I sit with a new person, I'm going to say, our first goal for you is we're going to sales coordinator as quickly as possible because we all do the same work, no matter what position we're in, and we want to get the highest return for you right away. My job is to get you a check as soon as possible that makes sense for your efforts. So that's where we're going. The first step is going right away as quickly as possible to QSC, or qualifying sales coordinator. And really, if you look at it, you gathering enough people to go to qualifying sales coordinator is going to boost you to sales coordinator. Now, the company requires that you have at least 3 team members who are partner plus, but you don't want to limit yourself to minimals. That's a minimal. You want as much width as possible. You want to be a model of duplication that is very wide so that you leverage this pay plan at the highest level. And so you want to grow to sales coordinator quickly, and you want to turn into creating a QSC factory. As many people as possible, growing to QSC, teaching them to do the same thing, will then grow them to sales coordinator. Everybody else teaching those to do the same thing will just push sales coordinators up. We'll all lift each other up, and then you grow up through the plan and you help everybody else grow up through the plan. Now, we talk about the Comma Club, $1,000 a month in solid income aside from all the bonuses. The bonuses have only been with us, if I look at my 32 years, for about the last 13 years. We did not have bonuses before. Those kind of came on the scene about 13 years ago when we went into a recession, and Jay Martin, our company president, felt like he needed to be more generous, which is what I've always liked about the company. They were always generous, but he would put money in to help people have good income as they grew up through the plan. And so those bonuses today are quite lucrative for you as you grow up through the positions, but you want that to be the something extra, the icing on the cake, so to speak. And this sales coordinator position being the foundation for your whole future, and you want that foundation to happen as quickly as possible in a very solid fashion. So if you're doing it in a very solid fashion, you want not only the time frame to be short, but the width to be very wide, because that's going to give you leverage as well. So where do we usually see this comma in your check begin to happen? A strong sales coordinator, a person who is in sales coordinator position, qualifying their business, or they're going to be in the Comma Club. Now, as far as sharing this with others, the proof in this is really in your Juice Plus earnings summary. And you can go to your virtual office and pull that up. And then you click on guidelines and agreements. You click on regulatory guidelines and annual income disclosure. So it's going to give you Juice Plus earnings summaries. And this is what validates. If you look at earnings summary, they give you a, it's a average of what each position, what the return normally is. And if you look at an active partner who is a sales coordinator, the average income for the year is $12,900, a little more, $1,209,075, okay? So very clearly that starts happening for active team members, active partners in the sales coordinator position. And as you grow up through the plan, of course, it gets stronger as the activity increases. And the wider the team, the faster that happens. Now, if we look at qualifying sales coordinator, the QSC, and you look at the earnings summary, that qualifying sales coordinator is somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 a year, which means this position, when you have a qualifying business, is going to bring you somewhere between $400, $500 a month aside from bonuses. So if you look at this and you're looking to develop a foundation of Comma Club for yourself and others, and then of course grow up from there, then it's go to sales coordinator, do that in a very solid fashion, bring other people, qualifying sales coordinators up quickly as you create the width. And now you're halfway to the Comma Club at QSC, and you complete it as you grow in and grow strong as a sales coordinator. So really what I've drawn out for you here, if we look at the numbers, are the retail sales profit if anyone in those positions market the tri-pack. And we've talked about the strategy of going into sales coordinator quickly to set the pace, because the pace of the leader is going to always be the pace of the pack, okay? Whatever you do, people are going to look at you and they're going to duplicate. So I'm going to go a little further, and I know we're 6:30, but I want us to just get to the point where you're looking at team and strategizing there as well. So the second form of income, we're paid 5 different ways, is commissions. Now, commissions we've already talked about, and I'm going to continue to talk about, and it's those red numbers. And when I say sales coordinator is the top commission position, partner, you're receiving your retail sales profit. Each position that follows that has additional commissions, which give you those additional returns. But now there's something else with commissions that happens that's quite powerful, and it's another added perk, I guess you would say, to the pay plan, which really gives you additional income as you help grow team members up, and it's to encourage you to locate and grow team members. Because really, if you look at accessing this plan at its highest potential, the goal is to acquire as many team members as possible. It's boots in the street, so to speak, people who are out there sharing the story and accumulating customers and team members. And if that is set up for duplication, that will always create consistent return and income, and especially if you are the model. So now let's look at what else happens with commissions here. Well, the company always pays out the difference between the commissions that you're receiving and also the people that are growing up beneath you, because remember, their orders count for them and they count for you for promotion, but also their orders, the company pays them in their position, but the company always pays out the full amount of the box. Many companies keep those differences. Here they do it to encourage everyone to gather team and have that additional income as the team grows up. So here you are, you're a sales coordinator, you have a new partner, he makes his $30 when he sells a tri-pack, but you make the difference, which is $45. Partner Plus makes $45, you make $30. As you grow that person to QSC, they make $60, you make $15. And you might think, why would I grow them to sales coordinator? We'll be in the same commission position. Well, the reason is that the company now is going to give you a reward, which is an ongoing forever bonus for growing that person up. And it is called a promote up or promote out bonus. It's the sales coordinators beneath you you will receive an additional bonus on they and their entire team of 3%. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go into strategizing, but it's another reason why you want to have as much width as possible, because that width is going to really leverage the power of the income and take full advantage of the pay plan. You don't want the minimals. The company has to give you minimals to grow up. I mean, that is required, but how about maximizing this at the fullest? So the third form of income really includes both the promote out bonus we've just spoken about of 3% and the performance bonus. Performance bonus will become the largest amount of your income over time. As you start your business and grow to Comma Club, the majority of your income will come from your retail sales and your new team as you're growing that new team up in commissions and some in promote out bonus. But the main part will be that in that first part. And that's why we have the bonuses, the title bonuses, to give you that extra money as you grow. But we're looking for that solid 1,000, because once you get really stabilized there and you repeat that in your organization, really the power is growing as far as income is concerned, and the security is growing. So now we're going to look at putting the people together for performance bonus and putting your team together from the very beginning. Once you become a QSC, you're entitled to 3% in performance bonus from every one of your team members. And again, here I've drawn 10 across, only because if I put any more, we would never get them on the page by the end of the 5 generations deep. But you want to have as much width as possible. I see people come into our business and they might go wide in the very beginning, and some of them go 3 or 4 or 5 and keep adding every month or every other month, and they keep growing wide. But the power businesses in this organization and within the company that make huge, just unbelievable to me. When I started, I never dreamed that the money that can be made is possible, but it happens when the width is there, because that leverages the exponential growth. So you want to be as wide as possible. You want to grow to sales coordinator, that's your smiley face on the top. And you want to bring your team members to sales coordinator as quickly as possible, because that's where serious income begins and grows. So now if you're setting up for duplication, if you've grown a sales coordinator, hopefully rather quickly, and you have a wide line growing, everyone's going to look at you and they're going to duplicate that. Again, sales coordinator is kind of fast-tracked, I guess you would say, or you move quickly if you're bringing on team right away and growing them to qualifying sales coordinator, even if you're growing there yourself. You want as many people beneath you as quickly as possible. So you're wide, you're the model of width. You'll receive 3% performance bonus in the blue-green color from every one of those people for forever as their businesses grow. And the beauty of this is the company pays you. The people beneath you don't pay you, the company pays you. And so it comes from company profits as our earnings are calculated. Now let's go back to that promote out bonus again, because here this is really important. You want to grow as many sales coordinators as possible because of that additional 3%. So now you not only get the 3% on your front line, but you're going to get it on all 4 generations as a sales coordinator, but you get an additional 3% on your sales coordinators, the people you've grown to sales coordinator. Not only 3% from their business, but from all of their partners, Partner Plus, and qualifying sales coordinators. So you want to have that width, because this is an ongoing bonus forever, that promote out bonus on your sales coordinator legs. And so my goal is always, how many sales coordinator legs can I possibly have? Now, an active sales coordinator would be a sales coordinator who is qualified every month. The goal would be, actually, once you become a QSC, you want to make sure that your business is qualified with $1,800 a month in orders, and for you and your personal team. So who are your personal team? Your personal business is your orders, your customers' orders, your partners' orders, and your Partner Plus's orders. So if you look at staying qualified, because the first step is, now remember, sales coordinator's the goal, first step is QSC, and then the step after that is qualification at $1,800 a month, because now you are the model. That comes from your orders as a QSC, your partners, and your Partner Plus, and your customers. So I know that if I keep my Partner Plus pool full, that the QSC is, qualified with the help of others. Now you move into sales coordinator and you grow sales coordinators. As you keep your business qualified for that 3% PB or performance bonus, that 3% performance bonus in the blue-green, you do that with the 1,800, right? So that's, again, all of your partners and partner pluses that help you do that. You want that pool to be full. But now you've graduated some sales coordinators. If you have a qualified business for PB, you want a qualified business for what we call POB, or promote out bonus. That comes from your sales coordinators. So your sales coordinators, if you look at a sales coordinator, you look at all of their partners, partner plus, qualifying sales coordinators now are in this group. And in that group, that what I call the sales coordinators new family, in that group, if you have, being paid your performance, your promote out bonus on those folks, it means that in your whole business, you now have an accumulation of $5,400 in your, what would be called your open business. So that's all your sales coordinators and beneath you, you're going to get paid on. If your business has 5,400 in partner plus, and qualifying sales coordinators. Another reason to be really, really wide. At this point, when you're PB qualified, performance bonus, and POB qualified, promote out bonus, you now have a solid $1,000 a month or more in your income, aside from your bonuses that go along with titles. And we know those bonuses are very lucrative. They're matching bonuses. A person going to sales coordinator, if they counted their bonuses, what it takes to get to sales coordinator, it would be about $4,500. But you're looking for that 1,000 solid that shows up always aside from the bonuses. And it's when you're a sales coordinator and you're PB qualified and POB qualified. And then, of course, we have the positions above it, which are the 4 leadership positions. And we see that 1,000 go to, 1,500, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 in here. So it's here and here in that sales coordinator and QSSC position that you become very, very stable with the Comma Club, and you're able to teach it. And so, I remember asking my sponsor, well, how do I know what to train on? And he said, you always train on whatever you have done because you know what you did, okay? It's kind of like when my grandson was 4, he announced that he was so proud to be 4 because now he could tell every toddler how to be a 3-year-old. Well, you can certainly, if you become a QSC, you can tell everyone else how to do it because you did it. And then when you become a sales coordinator, you can tell all your team how to do it because you did it. And that's all the way going all the way up. So hopefully this has been helpful. I think I'm about 12 minutes over time, but I think it's a very important aspect as far as the skill. You don't have to know a whole lot. As you go through showing this to people, the pay plan, the QSC, the SSC, QNMD, National Marketing Director, all of that is there on recording. But if you can get really good at understanding, getting that sales coordinator position as soon as possible, becoming really solid with a real wide front line, helping those people, put their teams together right away so that everybody duplicates they duplicate qualification for performance bonus as soon as they become QSCs, and they really work at growing their people to sales coordinators and being what we call POB qualified with your own open, which means your partners, partner plus, and QSCs together doing 5,400. So Carol, I'm going to kind of go back to you. If there's anybody on the line, I know we're really, we're pretty well done here. But if you have any questions, and, I feel like this is an important time to really, if you need clarification, if you want to stay on the line, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. But we're kind of done for this basic part right now, okay? Anybody? You can unmute yourself, I think, by...
Cheryl, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I'm still always confused between the POB and the
PB.
The PB and the POB. It's just
Okay.
maybe because I don't have a lot of team, and so that maybe why it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and you know, that's something that really, that was my learning experiences as I grew up in the pay plan and I got paid, I began to understand it a lot better. I will share with you all, I probably had to see this about 45 times over a 6 or 8 month period, and looking at it every day, and thought someone was trying to teach me a foreign language. So let's just look at PB. Now, PB is the 3% there in green or blue-green that you get paid on each generation, okay? And that is your basic performance bonus. It's going to be the largest part of your income. That's the first thing you want to get really good at qualifying for. And I encourage people, as soon as you become a QSC, your first goal is to qualify for performance bonus. And that's really, if you look at the TriPack, that's 24 orders between you and your customers and your partner and partner pluses. So very important to realize that that partner and partner plus goes into that qualifying amount for performance bonus, not just you and your customers, but your new team. So that 1,800 qualifies you for all of your 3% there that are in green or blue-green. Does that make sense now, that if you just look at that one, you are a qualifying sales coordinator or QSC, and you want to make sure that every month you have $1,800 in production between your orders, your customers, your partners, and your partner plus, okay?
And that would be around the 24 orders that we talk about, whether
Right, if you're using the TriPack. Now, it might not be that many orders if you have a lot of other orders, you know, coming in.
the duo.
We have a few other products. I mean, that's just the example. But that $1,800 should be foundational always. And one of the reasons I like to really encourage people to always bring on new team members is because the orders that are placed by the partners and the partner plus go into that 1,800. Okay? Now, then this stretches out a little. You might think of the bubble, okay, that the qualifications gets a little bigger. But I'll say it this way too. It's like the computer, if you were imagining this, and it's the way it was explained to me early on. It's like the computer does 2 sweeps as it goes down your organization. And your organization looks like the roots of a tree, okay? And it's got to check out every root. And so it does a scan looking for the 1,800, for the 3% that is in blue-green, okay? And it scans your order, your customers' orders, your partners, and your partner pluses. And it adds all that up together. And then it looks for that $1,800, okay? So that's one scan. Then let's forget that scan. Now you're a sales coordinator, and you have sales coordinators who have grown up beneath you. It's going to go back, and for you to receive that 3% that's in yellow from all of those sales coordinators that have grown up, you need to keep in what they refer to as your open business 5,400. Now, your open business is everyone that is a partner, partner plus, and QSC. So if you've grown a lot of people up and, you know, you're gathering new team members, you want that pool to be that just filled with as many of those as possible. Another reason to go wide, another reason to secure all income and be qualified for everything is if you're really wide and you and your team are bringing on partners, partner plus, and QSCs, then you have everyone in that pool. That adds to your, you know, your qualification to 5,400. So it's having a lot of partner, partner plus, and qualifying sales coordinators that are not sales coordinators. Your sales coordinators have grown up. You're getting a promote out bonus on them as long as that 5,400 shows up in what they call your open business, or that new family is what I call it. My new family needs to be doing 5,400 a month. Does that help you, Eileen?
Yes, Cheryl, thank you. So it's, yeah, so it's everybody sort of underneath you. They make up that 5,400 on top of the 1,800. Is that kind of what?
It's both. It comes in two different ways, but some of it overlaps.
Okay.
When you're a qualifying sales coordinator or even a sales coordinator, it's your own orders, your customers' orders, your partners, and your partner plus for the 1800. Okay.
Right.
When you're looking at the 5400, what overlaps is the partner and the partner plus, but now all of your QSCs count toward that 5400.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So you want to look at those as two separate things.
Okay.
But the 1800 is, there'll be some overlap there. It's counted twice, in other words.
Okay.
Qualifying sales coordinator is counted for the promote out bonus and the along with the partner and partner plus, but the performance bonus comes from the partner plus, and yourself.
Okay.
As your customers. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Sometimes, you know, yeah, I can draw it out a little different if I'm in person, but you want to look at it as two very distinct ways that you're paid. The company it's like the computer scans once for the 1800. That's you, your customers, your partner, and your partner plus. Now, sales coordinator, it's going to be the same thing. If you're a sales coordinator and you're looking for the 1800, because we all are, every time, that's our PB qualification. It's always you, your customers, your partners, and your partner plus. But when you're looking for that volume to qualify you for promote out bonus, it's like it takes a second look through your whole organization, through the roots of the tree, and it looks for your partner, partner plus, and QSCs that are not yet sales coordinators. That's where the 5400 comes in. Okay? Anybody else that I've confused thoroughly?
Cheryl, there's actually a couple of questions on the chat. I'll read the first one to you. It's from Deborah Groner, and it says, as a PB qualifier, do you get paid on all levels below SC?
Yes, you're paid on all levels. It doesn't matter when it looks down. That's a very good question. When it looks down for your PB qualification, that 3% in blue-green, doesn't matter what position they're in. They could be national marketing directors. They could be whatever they are. You're getting the 3% on the generations on the for the 1800 qualification. So that doesn't have anything to do with title. That's just position. Okay.
Okay, and then we have one more from Angela Foltz. She said, I made it to QSC through the old comp plan. How can I teach my team to reach it through the new one? What are the differences, if any?
Really, I don't think there are any differences at all. You know, the 3% on 100% is the same amount as 5% on 75%. We were only paid on 75% of our dollar, you might say. When you sold a product for $300, you were paid on 75% of that at 5%. Today it's at 3%. That's the only difference. There is no difference in the activity. We were always, our qualification was always based on our orders, our customers' orders, our partner plus. They just had different titles. Does that make sense? I mean, is that the question? Am I answering it?
I think so. I'm wondering if she's meaning like structure-wise, like you have to have, I think that's the same too though, right? You
Well,
have to have
structure is pretty much the same. But let's talk
Yeah.
about structure because that's really important. Okay. To go to qualifying sales coordinator, because you want to have a QSC factory is what you want to have. Okay.
Right.
The person has to have the volume of 4,000, and they have to have at least one team member who has their order. Okay, so you've got to have that in place. If you're looking at Partner Plus, really they've kind of relaxed the rules as to what they were before because we used to have it spread out through different households. That's not the case anymore as far as your customers are concerned. So let's start with Partner. The partner, of course, grows to Partner Plus with $1,000 in orders. Now that can be that person's own order if they're just starting. It could be, and they need 2 customers. Now, the 2 customers could happen in their own household, and it can be put on their own credit card if they want to. It could be, 2 of their children. It could be their husband. It could be, and as long as it's 2 orders, and the orders don't have to be tri-packs. They can be, whatever, as long as it's a product, 1 product as an order. But you still need to accumulate $1,000 and 2 customers. That gets you to partner. Qualifying sales coordinator fee, it's $4,000. Again, those 14 orders, they don't have to be just by you alone, even though it's cumulative. It's just really $3,000 if you already have 1,000. But it could be orders that are placed by your partners that you already have in your business, your partner plus, and the orders that you accumulate for that 4,000. So that's another reason to start putting on team immediately, to invite people to partner with you and to, join the mission from the very first day. And it doesn't mean that you have to know anything other than it makes sense to you. The potential of what you see for yourself is what other people are going to step into. But that 4,000 can be an accumulation of your orders and the new team's orders as well. But you have to have at least 1 new team member, partner plus, who has their own order. That's really not any different than it was before. So your structure going into sales coordinator, we always had to have 3. In the past, it was directs, they're partner pluses now, but we always had to have 3 partner pluses. I try to encourage people, though, to have more than that and to have more team members than just 3, because that 3 is a minimal, and you don't want to be paid minimal income. You want to maximize your income with as much width as possible. So I would constantly be inviting the world. Okay, anybody else? Any questions?
I don't see any questions on the group chat, and she said that she got it. So if anybody else wants to speak up.
You're welcome to.
No, thank you, Cheryl. I pick up a little bit each time.
Well, I mean, it's really the way for all of us. That's the thing about our business is the more you do it, the sharper it gets, the stronger your belief gets. As you grow up and you get paid, it makes more sense, okay? But the conviction and belief, in your pay plan, and I think it's one of the things you really can rely on, the foundation of people being here for such a long period of time. I don't care how much you love a product. If you didn't get paid, for your effort, and it wasn't consistent and you didn't have the ability to grow up in income, you probably would take the product, but you might not continue to put your efforts into it. So, the longevity of the fact that people, I've been here 32 years, I love what I do, but I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't get paid. Okay. So I would be consuming the product, but, so just the longevity of people and the incomes that, are acquired and very stable is a very powerful point of you being really convicted and having that belief that this is something that is powerful for people. You don't have to be a national marketing director to, to believe in it and earn and share it with others. You'll get there, we all did, but I didn't start with the thought, oh, this is going to be this big, huge business. It's going to be span the globe. I had to learn it as I went as well. But the good news is you don't have to know every detail to get paid. They're going to pay you whether you understand it or not. And so, but it's important to learn it as you go. So.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else, as we're wearing you out there on the East Coast, y'all like I gotta go to bed.
We're getting tired.
I'm tired. The brain can only absorb as much as the seat can handle. Okay, so anyway, our focus is Comma Club, yourself, others aside from title bonuses, and then being able to teach that. When I figured out that I could constantly just get people to QSC, get them to QSC, get them to QSC, that's the whole thing right there. Because if I kept doing that, that was going to keep pushing me up. And if I taught them to do that, then that was going to push them up. And if we did that all the way down the line, we'd graduate national marketing directors over and over, which is what we've done. But it's all in that QSC. You go to sales coordinator, well, of course you have to go to QSC first. You know exactly what you did to get there, and you turn around and teach that to somebody else. You break it down to the common denominator, which is, here's your story, here's my story, here's your story. How many people can we tell it to together? You gather that team for that new person, they go to QSC, and you turn around and gather that team for the new person beneath them. They go to QSC, and before long, everybody's a sales coordinator and they're all jumping up into leadership. Okay? So, but it is something I feel like, and I heard this from my sponsor forever, Jeff Roberti, it's easier to go fast than it is slow. If you sit around analyzing it, you know, and